Hello, I'm Ben Harkins with Floodgate Games, and we are here to play 3 Laws of Robotics. It's a game for 4 to 8 players by Ben Kanelos, illustrated by Tristam, Rossin. In this game, we are each going to be a member of a robotic faction, and will be one of many ranks, and we are going to try and determine which rank or faction we're on, because we'll know all of the information about each other, but won't have our own information ourselves. So, depending on player count, we're playing a 4-player game here. I've got Dan, Peter, and Brian. And in a 4-player game, we are going to play only with 2 of the factions. In this game, we're going to play with the AI and the robots. We'll set the androids aside, and they will not come into play during this game. So I'm going to shuffle up each of these faction cards, and we're going to get one. And this will be given to us face down, and it's really important that we do not look at this card. Says it on the back of the card. Do not look at this card. So it's the most important thing. Don't look at the card. You'll really want to look at the card. Don't look at the card.
Can I look at the back of the card while I'm holding the card?
Yes, you can look at the back of the card.
Okay.
Yes, you don't have to look through the card.
Didn't know if it was one of those games where you lose by even. Oh, I lost.
How many lights? All right. So we each we'll set these aside. Those are not in play, but we do know that these are the possible options, ranks 1 through 4, of the 2 factions, robot and AI. Now, once we hold up our cards, which we won't do quite yet, we're just going to hold them up so each of the other players can see, and of course, so we can't see our own. And then in turn, we're going to go one by one and ask each other a question, or ask any one other player a question with the goal of figuring out what's my faction and what rank am I. And we'll talk a little bit more about what happens after that, after we go through some questions. But first we need to also pick a start player. And in this game, the start player is whoever has most recently talked to a computer.
Well, you ordered pizza earlier.
All right, I'll start us off. So, everybody hold up their card and make sure that the other players can see your rank and your faction. We've got robots and AI, ranks 1 through 4, but not all of them obviously will be out here.
Show it to the camera. Like, let them figure it out who we are.
So, all right, I'm going to start with my first question.
Okay.
Dan,
Yes.
am I the highest ranking robot that you see? Highest ranking player that you see?
Player?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now Dan doesn't have to tell me the truth. Usually you're going to want to tell the truth, unless you know that it's not doing any favors to your opponent.
Peter.
Yes.
Am I a robot like you?
No, you are not.
So it's okay to sneak some information in your question. Not that the player needs to believe you, though. Peter, go ahead.
Dan.
I am on trial tonight.
You are.
How can I help?
Who do you think I should give my key to?
Me.
All right. Then Brian.
Dan.
Yes, Brian.
Just grill this boy.
Am I an AI like you?
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
All right. Now starting with me, because I started us off, I'm going to choose to give my security key to any one player or keep it. And I would give it to the player who I think is the highest ranking member of my faction. And if I think that's me, then I'll choose to keep them. So I'm going to choose to keep my key.
I am going to give my key to Brian.
So Brian has a choice. He can accept that key, or he can reject it if he thinks that Dan might be trying to mess with him or might be doing something that isn't in his favor.
I'm going to keep it.
Peter.
I'm going to offer my key to Ben.
All right. I'll take it.
Despite my better advice.
Brian.
I'm going to keep my keys.
All right. And now we'll all reveal. All right. So whoever...
Yeah, I want your team to lose. I want you to give me your key because it'll make your team lose.
No.
So now we'll go through one faction at a time. As long as the highest ranking member of that faction has security keys and they're the only one with security keys, then each member of that faction gets one victory point card. These are worth a random value, 1 through 3. So you can take a peek at those at any time, but keep them secret from your opponents. And then you guys will each get one victory point card as well. So we'll hang on to those, and we'll continue on to the second round of the game. And we'll each hand in our faction card, and we're going to get a new faction card going into the next round. We'll each get a security key to start again. All right, and now the second round plays quite a bit like the first round, but there's a little bit of a twist. Now we're going to start introducing laws. We'll turn one of these face up, and during this round, while this law is out, this one's called programming language. Players must say end of line after answering any query. So what'll happen here is we'll go through and we will we will ask our question, and then the player who was asked will give their answer, and they must say end of line after they answer that question. And if they don't, another player can say error, calling them out for breaking this rule and awarding them one error enforcement token. Any player with error enforcement tokens at the end of the round, they'll gain an extra victory point card. And if you're the player with the most error enforcement tokens, you're actually going to get 2 victory point cards. Anytime one of these laws is violated, we're going to actually update it and introduce a new law as well. So, now we get new faction cards.
And it's okay. You guys don't really have to pay attention to this one since I'm the only person getting asked questions in the entire game. So.
Very good. All right, and as soon as we raise our faction cards, until we put them back down on the table, the laws can be enforced.
And just to make it clear, when it says query, that's not any question asked at the table.
Correct.
But specifically your information-based question.
You got
on your
it.
turn.
It's the question that the game requires that you ask of another player.
Great.
All right, and the star player does rotate. We each are tied for number of victory point cards. So, Dan, you're going to start us off.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Let's do it. All right. Okay.
Cool beans.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
What color is my card?
Purple, end of line.
Peter.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
Should I keep my key?
Yes, end of line. Ben,
Yes.
am I a robot?
Yes. End of line. Peter. Am I the highest rank that you see?
No, end of line.
All right. Dan starts off.
Good golly. I'm going to retain my key.
As will I.
What?
Confused.
This is either going to work great or not. We'll find out soon.
guess I'll keep it. And I'll... I think I'll keep these keys.
Okay.
All right. So since we on the robot faction
Could not get our lines of code together.
couldn't coordinate at all, we get no victory point cards. Peter, being the only member of his faction and the highest ranking member of his faction with the key, he will get 1 victory point card. If he were able to have coerced the key out of another player, he would have gotten a bonus victory point card.
I'm happy. I got my card.
I will confess that I thought the Android cards, which we're not playing with right now, were purple. And so when you said purple, I was like, you liar. You jerk,
would never
picking the
lie.
color not on the table.
All right. The start player will rotate going into the next round. We're each going to get a new faction card. And we'll get some new laws out this round. We're going to update the previous laws. So now the previous law goes away. And instead, players must say virus detected if they are caught erroring. Also, we introduce a second law. Exclude highest rank. Players cannot query the highest ranking player they see. And it's a good time to point out, too, especially with this law, you don't have to enforce a law or breaking a law if you don't want to, because you may be giving information away, especially with this law right here. So if everybody's ready, Peter will start us off for this round.
Let's do this. Go. I don't know what's going on. Ben. What number am I?
3.
Oh, that was a long pause.
He had to count.
Peter. Am I AI?
Yes.
Brian,
Mm-hmm.
am I AI?
Yes.
Peter, did you have to avoid querying me?
No.
Error. I'm going to call error that you queried the highest ranking player you saw.
And I'm gonna
Virus
double that error.
detected.
Oh, okay, fine, all right, fine.
Was that correct?
You were correct.
Yeah.
So I get an enforcement token.
Very,
Yes.
very much should have asked anyone else that same
Yeah.
question.
I couldn't.
I felt an affinity for our friend Peter
Yeah,
here, and
yeah,
I
that's
wanted
fair.
to talk with him, and boy, that was a bad move.
Yeah, but I couldn't confirm it myself. But that's totally
Yep,
fine.
yep.
But there's a new law now.
Yeah, the law is updated as soon as an error is enforced on one of these. So this one says file management. Players must say checking database before answering any query. But since we are at the end here, Peter, start us off with the handing of the security keys.
I'll see. I truly do believe I am a 3 now. But the real question is, I don't know what faction I am. I'm gonna offer my key to you.
I will take it.
Brian.
Offer my key to you.
I will take it.
Same. Dan.
Are you
I'll be holding on to this.
Are you taking?
I am. I'm taking the keys.
All
But I
right.
feel like I let you down. No!
Great. All right. So as the AI team, we did have the highest ranking member be the only one with keys. So we each get a victory point card. Same goes for Dan being on his own. However,
I can't,
since he got
I can't believe it's
an extra security key, he gets an additional victory point card.
Which almost pays back
Since
for being
I
a chump there.
successfully enforced an error, I get a victory point card for having that token. All right, we'll clean up a little bit, and we will go to the final round.
I hope you enjoy that 50 point
Oh,
card.
I'll choke on it.
It's a good call.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I honestly couldn't tell.
So we're going to get 3 new laws going into the next round here. Messenger. Players must say, message sent, after posing any query. Camera buffering. Players must close their eyes while posing their query until after it's answered. And the third law, binary output. Players must answer queries by making beep sounds. Once for yes, twice for no, or by saying, does not compute.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Cool.
So, just to go over those again.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Players must say, message sent after posing any query. Players must close their eyes while posing any query until after it's answered. And as you're answering a query, you must do so with a beep noise. 1 beep for yes, 2 beeps for no, or by saying, does not compute.
Cool.
Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Rules enforced as soon as cards are up. All right. Oh, we should have moved the start player. It
Oh, I
is
did actually pass it by.
Yeah, that's right.
it'll be whoever has the most victory point cards.
Oh, really?
Clockwise,
Oh.
yeah. So it comes to me. I am in the unfortunate spot. All right. I have to figure out who. Let's see. Brian. Am I a robot? Message sent.
Beep.
I don't know why I expected the beat to be like high pitch. Like a regular voice beat is not what I thought was going to come out. So 1 beep is yes. And I had to remember your query because I was laughing through most of it. All right. Peter. Shut up. Is mine the highest number you see message sent?
Beep boop.
Just keep those eyes open while you can. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
That's the biggest thing. I gotta remember the table here. Dan, is my number higher than a 2 message sent?
Beep.
Dan. Am I a robot? Message sent.
I'll take that delicious token.
We have a new law. Network encryption. Players cannot say you, they, or them.
Error. Your eyes are open.
We have a new law. Gender neutrality. Players cannot say he, she, him, or her.
Beep.
That's it. I'm gonna keep my key.
I'm going to give my key to Peter.
I'm gonna accept that key, and then keep mine, and look at you, and be like,
I'll accept this key.
very well.
All right. So, we were successful. We each get one victory point card.
We were more
You
successful.
were also successful. One victory point card. Every player who enforced an error gets an additional victory point card. And if you had the most, which ties don't count, then no additional victory point card there. So now we tally up our number of points, not by cards, but by the actual points on the cards, and see who was
Oh man.
victorious.
Oh man.
Yes. Not so good. I had 6.
I had 9.
6.
Nice.
Team 9.
Team 9.
Oh, there you go. Excellent. And that is 3 Laws of Robotics.